videos here are not easy to do, and this is obviously tragic. So we have ourselves a school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, right outside a Christian school. Now, guys, we're going to do something a little bit different here. I have noticed that when I make videos like these right here, I often tend not to actually read the article and read the information coming out. Well, that's going to change starting right now. This individual, and I'm going to be leaving this video right here from Jeremy at the quartering. This video here could also be not, how do we say, algorithmically friendly. It's going to be released tomorrow morning. I'm going off all the information that has been given now. It's a Fox 8 article, also the police chief himself, and also to go on top of this, this is also going to feature some New York Post articles because they have been on this right here like white on rice. The reason why I'm leaving the Jeremy the quartering video in the description box is because he's got the actual social media post from this individual named Audrey. Now, like I said, this video right here is not going to be algorithmically friendly due to the nature of the individual who actually performed the shooting. But I'm going to roll this right here and you guys will see why.
Our investigations tell us that she was a former student at the school. I don't know what grade she's attended or grades, but we do firmly believe she was a student there. She does identify as transgender, yes.
And so very quickly, the White House, they decided they wanted to sound off saying that, well, you know the drill by now. Let's blame the gun and not the actual shooter. Guys, a lot of people right now are looking at the media and they're saying to themselves, you guys should not be sensationalizing this. I agree with that, but there's also a lot of people saying stop blaming the media. I can see where both sides are coming from, even though I did plan on doing a project someday about these type of ordeals. Now, guys, this is rare because most women don't do mass shootings. Now, the thing you have to understand is this right here. This individual, we're finding out through their social media, and this is just some of the photos that I was able to get. You see red rum. You're finding out this person had pronouns. You're finding out that this was a girl trying to identify as a boy. Like I said, this entire thing is, this entire video is going to be non-algorithmic friendly. But still, make sure you guys hit the like button and everything so that way the video will go through the algorithm so that way people are informed. Information comes out a lot, and I mean a lot of information comes out at a vast, let's just say it comes out at a ridiculous rate. I'm kind of stumbling my words here. But the thing is this right here. These incidents are obviously never good to report. And we're also finding out through Fox News by way of Breitbart that the school did not have any resource officers or any armed resource officers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hop behind the computer, and we're going to go ahead and look at these articles that I obtained that I already read. We're going to go ahead and just go ahead and go right through them to get all the information out there, because once again, this seems to be a situation where mental health is definitely the key factor here. All right, guys, we're going to be looking at the Fox 8 article first, and then we're going to go over to the New York Post. I was reading it earlier, and the information seemed to be a little bit more updated, but we're going to start with this one first, mostly due to the fact that, look at this right here, 4 signs of dying liver. I'm sorry about that. Ain't got a choice here. Some of these ads kind of trip me out. Nashville, Tennessee, a woman wielding 2 assault-style rifles, which I'm already a little bit sketchy on that one, and a pistol killed 3 9-year-old students and 3 adults at a private Christian school in Nashville on Monday, in the latest in a series of mass shootings in a country growing increasingly unnerved by bloodshed in schools. Let's see. The suspect, identified as Audrey Hale, a 28-year-old Nashville woman, is believed to be a former student at the Covenant School in Nashville, where the shooting took place. She was killed by police. The victims were identified as Evelyn, I don't want to screw that name up, Haley Scruggs and William Kinney, all 9-year-olds, and adults Cynthia Peak, 61, Catherine Kuntz, 60, and Mike Hill, 61. The website of the Covenant School, a Presbyterian school founded in 2001, lists a Catherine Kuntz as the head of the school. Her LinkedIn profile says she has led the school since July 2016. The attack at the Covenant School, which has about 200 students from preschool through 6th grade, as well as roughly 50 staff members, comes as communities around the nation are reeling from a spate of school violence, including the massacre at elementary school in Uvalde. Some more information has been released on that one. I will link a video in the description box. Last year, a first grader shot his teacher in Virginia. I will also be putting a link to that one too. And of course, the Denver shooting that wounded 2 administrators. I was literally moved to tears to see this, and the kids, they were being ushered out of the building. Metropolitan Nashville Police Chief John Drake said this afternoon in a news conference. Now, anytime kids get killed, this is obviously a tragedy, and obviously the suspect's motive has not been released. We'll get more to the suspect here in a second. The Covenant School was founded as a ministry of Covenant Presbyterian Church, the affluent Green Hills neighborhood just south of downtown Nashville, where the Covenant School is located, is home to the famed Bluebird Cafe, a beloved spot for musicians and songwriters. And here we go again. President Joe Biden, speaking at an unrelated event in the White House on Monday, called the shooting a family's worst nightmare and implored Congress to gain once again to pass the ban on certain semi-automatic weapons. It's ripping the soul of this nation, ripping at the soul of this nation, said Biden. Look, I've been saying for a while, anytime something like this occurs, obviously politics comes up, but obviously me showing you what I showed you at the very beginning of this video, and also having Jeremy the Quarterings video also being placed in the description box, where he actually has the social media account of this individual. Obviously, yeah, you got a lot of people now probably turning around and heading back to California, seeing how it is that obviously people of a certain lifestyle, when they commit this, you obviously can't touch it. The suspect's identity as a woman surprised experts on mass shootings. Female shooters make up only about 5 to 8% of all mass shooters, said Adam Lankford, a criminal justice professor at the University of Alabama who has closely studied psychology and behavior of mass shooters. We're going to be doing a project on this, by the way. It's one of the ones I have listed down, kind of like the bucket list. There have been 7 mass shootings in the U.S. since 2006, according to the database maintained by the there have been 7 mass killings at U.S. schools since 2006, according to a database maintained by the Associated Press and USA Today Partnership and Northeastern University. In all of them, the shooters were males who were killed 4 or more people within a 24-hour time frame at a K-12 school. Okay, now, as you can already tell, obviously things are beginning to get political. They're going to be doing this. Now, here you go right here, The Guardian. Gun violence is ripping the communities apart. I really get tired of people going out of their way to sensationalize this stuff. It is ridiculous. And you kind of want to blame the media for this, because they obviously like to take things out of context. They like to go ahead and rush to judgment, and politicians love to go ahead and go on top of this, to go on top of everything. They love to go ahead and let's just say that they love to go ahead and do the blame game. Look, this is the article that I was reading earlier. You right here, you have Nashville school shooter ID'd as Audrey Hill. We're going to read them both, everything we know about the Nashville school shooter. So let me just put it this way here. It's possible this information could change, but as you guys can see, here is the headline from the New York Post. YouTube, I am simply reading a headline. I know how the algorithm works. Everything we know about trans Nashville school shooter Audrey Hill. This article, by the way, had a built-in volume ordeal, so if you hear something and try to see me scramble to shut it off, just bear with me. Shooter stormed a private Christian elementary school in Nashville Monday, killing 3 students and 3 staffers. Was identified as 28-year-old white transgender woman named Audrey Hill, who once attended the school. Authorities said the suspect who was killed by officers was also a Nashville resident. Police said the shooter was later identified as Hill, NBC reported. Women make up just 2% of the mass shooters across the country, according to the Violence Project database. This is also conflicting data, because we just read one that said it was 5 to 8%. And Monday's shooter is just the 5th female mass shooter in U.S. history. A car was located near the Covenant School where the 14-minute shooting spree took place Monday morning and provided investigators clues as to the shooter's identity. Metro Nashville Police Chief John Drake said at a press conference, but as stated, the investigation is still ongoing, as he added. Let's see what else we got here. And, of course, you got those weird, god-awful ads that they let them bombard you with. Hale, who said they use he/him pronouns in online profiles, was wielding two assault-style rifles and a pistol, was killed by responding officers when they found her on the second floor of the school. Police says it appears Hale had previously been a student at the school, but it wasn't immediately clear when or for how long. The school had a protocol for an active shooter, but it wasn't immediately clear if this was put in place during the shooting. Police said in a press conference Monday afternoon, Hale had entered the school through a side door by shooting it. Now, guys, I showed you to early open this video up. I showed you where Breitbart had reported that Fox News said that there were no school resource officers, or nobody was armed. So once again, we're not exactly getting clear information here. Police said they received the initial call about an active shooter at 10:13 a.m. The responding officers quickly began clearing the first story of the school after hearing gunshots coming from the second floor. The shooter was killed by the cops at 10:27 a.m., officials said. The victims were subsequently pronounced dead at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital and Vanderbilt University Medical Center, according to the police. Officials identified the three students as Evelyn. Like I said, I'm not going to try to mispronounce this name. I understand that mispronouncing would be a little bit disrespectful right now. Haley Scruggs and William Kinney, all age 9. The three faculty members, Cynthia Peak, Mike Hill, both were 61, and school head Catherine Kuntz is 60 years old. The Covenant School is a Presbyterian school for about 200 students from preschool through 6th grade. The school has roughly 50 staff members. Police later raided Hale's home, blocking off surrounding streets. To do so, residents told the Post. One local said that Hale lived at the house of her mother, Norma, who works at the church nearby, and father, Ron, who is self-employed, and they had seen her on Sunday. The source told the Post, "We're just shocked. We would see Hale from time to time. She was very reserved and very quiet." Let's go ahead and go to the brand new article that the New York Post just put out. Nashville shooter identified as Audrey Hale. Once again, you see the same exact headline. For all we know, this right here could be the same article. I don't think it is, though. But once again, here we are dealing with the New York Post and those very, very wicked ads. Their website. The shooter who killed 6 people at an elementary school in Nashville on Monday has been identified as Audrey Hale. Law enforcement confirmed to the Post the transgender shooter had opened fire inside the private Christian elementary school, killing 3 children and 3 adults. Police received the active shooter call at 10:13. Officers heard gunshots on the second floor and rushed to a lobby-type area where they came across a 28-year-old Nashville resident. Now, I'm still kind of baffled why it is that a 28-year-old is at the school doing this. Okay, I'm still a little bit baffled by this, a little bit confused. Officers, let's see. Police said Hale once attended the school. A LinkedIn profile listed Audrey Hale as an illustrator and graphic designer with pronouns listed as he, him. As I said before, that information is in the video from Jeremy at the Quartering. I'm not going to play that one in here, but that video is in the social media stuff is in that video, the much more broader explanation. Hale, who had started to go by the name Aiden, was shot dead by police on site at 10:27 a.m. A TikTok account under the name I Am Aiden 10, which is linked to other social media associated with Hale, had a final video posted of a person's shadow, which showed them bouncing a basketball and then a basketball net, an apparent tribute to a friend who had passed. On the screen, it displayed the words, "For Sid, I look up. The sky is bright. It's a beautiful day. I wish you were here." It seems to me like this individual seems to me that she or he obviously had some serious things going on here. A car was located near Covenant School where a 14-minute shooting spree took place Monday. I think we'd already read a good portion. So I'm trying to find to see if there's anything else that is brand new. Let's see. The source told the Post the parents were very nice people, especially Norma. Were shocked, of course, Norma being her mother, We would see the daughter from time to time. She was very reserved, very quiet. She would just park her car and go inside. So obviously, this is a very, very sad situation, and obviously is a situation that is involving what appears to be mental illness. But let's just go ahead and say it. Obviously, it's going to get political. So I just want to go ahead and throw that there. Now, with that there being said, guys, let's go ahead and go to the other side and close this video out. Now, gang, with all that information, let's go ahead and talk about one more thing. I have said for a while, and also something else too, and I did mention that I was going to leave the video from Heavy Duty Country about the new details that came out from Uvalde. I did mention I was going to leave that in the description box. Now, that right there is really more of a criticism of law enforcement at that time, and there's a lot of information that kind of exposes the Uvalde police as far as their, let's just say, their overall competence level in that particular incident. But last time this happened was, in fact, Uvalde, where I did a story on this, and obviously I was given a wrong piece of information. I was operating on the facts I had at the time. This time I wanted to make sure we had a lot more facts before we went into this, because the last thing you want to do is accidentally label somebody as something that's not true. In that case, I labeled the shooter as trans based upon some photos and some social media posts that actually turned out to just be someone who looked like it. Now, I'm not here to kind of cope and seethe over that post. I'm just kind of giving you guys an example. It's the reason why I chose to kind of sort of take my time with this, where be a little bit more methodical, a little bit more meticulous. I'm trying to change things on the channel, trying to change the presentation. But obviously, mental health is an issue here. Now, I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what the motive was here. 28 years old, obviously dealing with some form of gender dysphoria, chooses to go to a school that they went to and chooses to shoot the place up while having 2 rifles and a pistol on them. This right here screams mental illness. It screams it at an extremely ridiculous rate. But here's the thing. The minute this incident came out and we found out that this individual was living a certain lifestyle or was of a certain lifestyle, you saw the media immediately get quiet. Right now, at this moment in time, the Biden administration is trying to get an AR-15 ban put in before the election. He thinks it would actually do himself a service politically to go ahead and get that done. But number one, you don't have 60 votes in the Senate and you don't have Congress. So you're probably not going to be able to get anything done on that. And thank God you won't be able to, because this is obviously not an issue where the gun is at fault. This is obviously a mentally ill person who chose to go after kids. That right there is what this is. We should be looking at the person and not the weapon, okay? You can't sit here and blame 99% of gun owners and punish them because of a very, very small, extreme, insane fraction. You just can't do that. You can't punish the entire crowd because of one individual, okay? It's just the way that it is. It's part of the reason why it is that we have all these 2A lawyers, so that way we should be able to protect our constitutional right to be able to own and carry a firearm. I mean, dude, the Second Amendment, you have the right to bear arms, okay? This is the way it is. Okay, and you have a personal right to do that. I'm putting up the amendment now for you guys, so you guys can read it again. I can't quote it verbatim right now because my mind's a little bit flustered. Like I said, I apologize for that. But the thing is this right here. You can't punish 99% of the entire country because of one person, one mentally ill individual. That's just the way things are. But you're probably going to see the rhetoric get a lot worse. And, of course, a certain community is obviously going to be pointed at as well. And I need to go ahead and say this right now. Just because you had one bad person out of a group does not make the entire group bad at all. I just want to go ahead and get that out of the way now before I end this video. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like the content, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. I want to get you guys' thoughts, and I'll see you guys later.